Get to it. Welcome to another edition of Big O's Top 20 Countdown. This week we're counting down the top 20 pop and R&B, and we're talking to our guest CJ. So, guys, this countdown. The number 20 song comes from One Republic. This song is called "I Ain't Worried." Let's get into it. "I Ain't Worried" by One Republic on Big O's Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, that was the number 19 song the first of many songs by Taylor Swift. This song is called "Questions." We're talking to our guest, CJ. CJ, what's going on, brother?
What's poppin'? What's poppin'? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Tell my listeners about yourself. Uh-oh, we're having issues again. So tell my listeners about yourself.
So yeah, I go by the name of CJ Soul. I'm an artist from Los Angeles, California, and yeah, born and raised here in LA, and was raised on, mostly like 70s, 80s R&B. Obviously, I'm a 90s kid, so born, raised on that stuff too. Yeah, so I love. I fell in love with hip hop when I was a teenager, and
Okay.
just never looked back from there. So
That's awesome. How many projects do you have out?
I have quite a few. I have two albums out right now. My first album, "Beat of Your Heart," came out back in 2019, and dropped. My second album, "Love Is," right before the pandemic, back in 2020. And I have an EP, Christmas EP out with all original Christmas music. So be sure to check that out this season. And
Wow.
it's
Okay.
yeah, and I got a myriad of different singles that I've released over the years as well. So yeah.
How long have you been an artist?
I've been an artist since I was about 16. So about, what does that make it now? 17 years. So
Okay.
yeah, math.
Pretty young. You're still pretty young.
Yeah. I still got my youth, but I feel like I still got a lot of experience too. So I got a nice balance.
What made you get into music?
Funny enough, like growing up, I was like, never really into music and performing like that. I've always loved music. Uh, but like I was an athlete. Like I played basketball my whole life. And when I was a kid, um, my parents and uncles and aunties and everything like that, they would come over and, for gatherings and play Pacino. And like my sister and I would use my mom's money and beat them and collect all their money and then keep it. And so they stopped letting us play. And so we got bored and started doing like these little sketch comedy skits and stuff like that. And so we had to make them pause the game so they can watch us. And then, eventually that led to us writing like parodies of, popular songs from back then. And when we were doing that, like I just kind of realized that I was pretty good at, writing lyrics and rapping and performing. And so I was like, well, I wonder how this would be if I, did this like original, like did my own stuff instead of just parodies. And so like that's how it started. And I fell in love with it.
That's cool. Okay, let's get back in this countdown. The number 18 song comes from SZA. This song is called "Shirt." Let's get into it. SZA and "Shirt" on Big Old Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, yo, that was the number 17 song. Rema and Selena Gomez with "Calm Down." You said you started about rapper. You said, you're also a producer, right?
Yes. A lot of the tracks that I've put out over the years, the majority of them I produced as well. And I'm also an engineer, so like I do that as well. So multifaceted. With mainly by necessity, when I was a kid and I got into music, I used to go to the local Boys and Girls Club up in San Pedro when I went to high school. Um, and I went there as a senior because I needed to wait for I didn't have this experience, so I had to wait for my school bus to take me back to LA. And so I was going down there and they found out that they had a recording studio at the Boys and Girls Club. And I got introduced to the engineer there. And I saw the board, I saw Pro Tools back then, and I saw all these different things that I didn't understand. And I knew that if I wanted to take this seriously and have a career, then I would need to have an understanding, at the very least, have an understanding of what is going on inside of the studio, so I can actually speak the language to the engineers. And so that's what I decided to go to school for out of high school. My journey was kind of crazy out of high school, but I ended up going back to school and graduating with the degree for audio engineering. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you said you coming up with music. Who was one of your main influences?
Musically and just in general, like my number one influence was Michael Jackson. I fell in love with. I was mesmerized by Michael like when I was 2 years old when Remember the Time premiered, and I was hooked since then. So like I study everything that man does, like, or that he did, and I'm still to this day I watch interviews, performances that he did, any sort of behind the scenes or like rehearsal videos or anything, just to pick his brain and understand his approach and his attention to detail, so I can try to adapt and apply certain things to what I do,
Yeah. Let's get into the number 16 song. The number 16 song comes from Manuel Turizo. This song is called La Bachata. Let's get into it. Manuel Turizo with La Bachata. On Big Woo! Stop 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, y'all, that was another Taylor Swift song. Vigilante shit. Vigilante shit. Oh my God. I said it. I said, man, they just renamed this countdown Taylor Swift because every other song is Taylor Swift. Oh Jesus. But no. But let's get to the extra song of the week, which comes from CJ Soul. This song is called Blessed Life. I want you to tell me the story of this song, please.
So I wrote this song back in 2020 during the quarantine period, and it was just at that moment, at that time, like I was writing a lot because I had a lot of time, and that was like one of the favorite beats that I've made in a while at the time, and it just gave me this really good feeling, and I just wanted to just express my gratitude just for being able to live, especially in a time like that. And so, yeah, it was just the acknowledgement that that life itself is a blessing, and the gifts that I have, as a person on this planet, is are also a blessing, and they're made for me to give to the planet. So like, and everybody has that. So like that was the whole thing. I know that I'm blessed. I know that I'm blessed. I give it my best. So like, it's like a mantra, and that's why I go on the end and I flip it and give it your best. Know that you're blessed. You know what I mean? Like, so like understand that everybody who's listening to the song can take it for themselves and use it as their own mantra as well.
All right, now let's get into it. Let's get into the extra song of the week, the first extra song of the week, which comes from CJ Soul. The song is called Blessed Life on Big Old Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, y'all, that was the awesome awesome song by CJ Life, Blessed Life. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass because you're here. I mean, that's really, really cool. That's really, really cool, man. You know what? I like that space background that you got, the outer space, but that man, that take you to outer space, that you like take us to another level, take us out of the galaxy,
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So tell me
I,
about that. So why'd you choose that background?
I don't know. I've always been fascinated by nature and especially space. You know what I mean? Like it's just so vast, and it just kind of makes me feel small in this whole universe of life or whatever you want to call it, right? So, but yeah, and also it's just it's a lot more interesting to look at than just my bedroom, but.
All right now, I like that.
But yeah, like it's just beautiful. I just love, you know, seeing the stars and everything like that. So yeah.
I have to ask this question. Um, you produce your own music and all that stuff. Oh, I forgot to ask you, was Blessed Life on your new project or it's already out?
Blessed Life is out. It was a single that I released a few months ago.
Okay.
And I just recently released the live version and a music video in which people were able to participate and send in videos of basically just them living their best life. And, it's a moment in time where they just felt pure joy. And that was very uplifting for me, working on that video and editing it and being able to put all of everybody's videos into the video. Like that was a really, really great experience. Yeah.
You're a video director. Man, you're a man of many talents, man.
I just do what's needed, man.
First video that you directed?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, like that's a video. I think that's the first video that I can say that, like, yeah, I technically directed and produced all on my own. Just because it was a compilation video. Like I used performances of me performing the song Blessed Life,
Okay.
cut them together, and then brought in everybody's videos that they all submitted via social media. And it just turned into this really powerful, beautiful project. I'm like literally getting chills right now talking about it. Yeah, it was powerful.
What was the name of your first album?
The name of my first album that I put out was Beat of Your Heart back in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, and that album was like there's a lot to go into that album. It was only 9 songs, and I chose 9 songs for a reason, because Michael Jackson is
Thriller, trying to make it another Thriller. Okay, I get it, brother. I get it. Yeah, because Thriller only had 9 songs. Oh yeah, I get it. Trying to be like Mike.
Yeah. So like that was it. That was 9 songs that I wanted to put on there, and yeah, it was just really beautiful to see how that project came together. The actual title track was a song that was produced by a friend of mine named Eric. Shout out to him. I haven't seen him in a few years, but hope you're doing well. And he wanted me to be on that project, and he told me the vision for it and everything, and I was like, okay, this is great. And then so I wrote the song, went to his studio out in Brea, and recorded it. And I remember listening to it and working on it. And I remember the moment that I called him, I was like, yo, that's because I was working on the album, and I was like, this is the title track. Like, this is what the album is going to be. And yeah, I love that song and what that ended up being. It ended up being, like, speaking of Michael Jackson, I'm telling you, man, like it ended up being like my own version, like, of We Are the World. I brought in a lot of different artists that I was, working around and with at the time, and kind of created like a choir of sorts. And we went into the studio and recorded that song. And yeah, that was a lot of fun, and it was just really cool seeing everybody kind of come together and be a part of something, that could inspire people.
That is so cool. But you guys are going to talk more to our guest, CJ Soul. But let's get back in this countdown. The number 14 song comes from Harry Styles. This song was called As It Was. Let's get into it. As It Was by Harry Styles on Big Ooh Stop 20 Countdown. I stole that from Soul Train, everybody knows that. Um, but you guys, we did a 3 in a row for you. We did Harry Styles, As It Was. We did 2 more songs by Taylor Swift on the Taylor Swift Countdown. Number 13 was Taylor Swift, Karma. And number 12 was Taylor Swift, You're on Your Own, Kid. Now it's time to get into the comedy corner. You know, every week I feature a comic, one of my favorite comics. But this week we're going to feature one of my favorite comics of them all. One of the favorite comics is me. This is coming off of my release called Laughter. Let's get into it. The comedy album. Let's get into it. I'm just going to play one song. How big old stuff will be good now. Yeah, that was a comedy corner by me. We're talking to our guest, the awesome CJ Soul, the man of many talents.
Thank you. What's up?
Of all trades. I'm gonna tell you, I met this brother back in October, the last part of October. And we were at DJ Bree's event. I was like, man, I was really impressed. He came out to me, he was really a genuine. He was actually one of the first people I met over there that was really, really awesome. And I was like, you know what? I said, I want him on my show. I said, I'm gonna put you on my show. And then he gave me a business card like I've never had before. I was like, wow. I said, you know, wow, this man is going places. Tell me about your dang business card.
Shout out to Dot Card. You know, it's funny. Business cards were always really important to me. You know, I remember a few years back, I created a business card that was plastic and it was clear. And you know, it had like my logo and all my information on it. And so I just remember it was when I would pass that card out to people it was a memorable moment because they saw it and they were tripped out, you know. And so like I always like to try to do something like that. And I felt like Dot Card was a way to do that and a way to be more efficient. You know, like I could put all of my information on the Dot Card link and tap it to somebody's phone and they just have everything. And so now I don't have to buy business cards anymore. And it still has that effect on people where it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. And so people, you know, remember me. And so I like that.
That's awesome. So what does the future hold for you? Do you have any projects coming out or any shows?
Yeah, I'm always working on something, you know. So I've got a lot of songs in the vault right now that are ready to be released. It's just right now I'm just kind of picking the right time and way to do it. I'm working on, I'd say, probably like 3 different projects right now. One of them is more of like a production thing for me, where I'm producing basically all of the songs on there and I'm bringing artists together, whether it's bringing multiple artists on one song, bringing the artist on one song by themselves, or me working with an artist or whatever. But it's just a myriad of different artists from all over, and it's a cultural thing. And wait, what happened? I can't see you anymore. There you go. Yeah, and it's a cultural thing. And so I've got people speaking, you know, Spanish and people from, you know, different islands and things like that on this album. And it's just, I'm really excited to see where this is gonna go. I definitely believe in strength in numbers, and that's the whole idea, is to make an album that's the collective of that, you know, of people who are like-minded and want to actually, you know, work and move forward and have progress. So like that was the whole idea behind that one. I'm working on my solo album as well. And I'm actually working on doing some different things with different sounds that I've never really kind of touched on. So that's really kind of exciting and scary at the same time, doing different things sonically and with my voice. So it's just interesting to kind of dive into new things like that. And then, you know, I'm always producing for other artists as well. Shout out to SG Urban, shout out to Glock Hill, shout out to B Ford, good friends of mine that I produce for as well. And so I'm excited to see what the future holds for them as well.
Do you have a name of the album, for the album?
I have an idea for my solo album. Right now where I'm at, the name of the album will be Blessed. Um, but I'm not attached to anything, and I kind of just listen to to where I'm carried. You know what I mean? And I'll just let the music speak for itself, and it usually tells me um, what it's going to be. You know, so.
That wasn't until with the astronaut. Now I'm getting to the second song on the count from CJ. So this is called Oh. I want you to tell me about this song.
Yeah. This song is a lot of fun. It's meant to be like very upbeat and like high energy, like you know what I'm saying. So like I really like uh just giving a lot of energy to my music and stuff. And so like this one was like a throwback type of sound I found on my Rolling Cloud, and I just remember making the beat, and it just gave me this whole vibe of like prohibition era, or you know what I mean. And so that was the whole idea behind it. And I just really like the horns and things in the song. And lyrically it was just really me just doing a lot of silly stuff, but then at the same time like there's like this very I wouldn't say serious, but kind of a serious undertone where it's like, where for me it's a message that I've arrived and I'm coming, and and yeah, better look out because I'm on the road, I'm here, like I'm so that's the whole idea. But it's definitely a very playful song where like I have a bunch of different sound effects and the way I deliver the lyrics and punchlines and things like that. Like it's very playful, and that's the whole idea. Even for the video that we're producing with me and my team, that we're coming up with, is going to be that same idea where it's like very playful, very cartoon, and high energy, and just to kind of match the vibe. But yeah, on the road. One of the most fun songs that that I've definitely written in a while. So
Okay, let's get into it. On the Road by CJ Soul on Big Old Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, y'all, that was the second extra song of the week. 2 in a row. 2 winners in a row, brother. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So
appreciate it.
you already said what's next for you. Where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
Um, yeah, I see. I don't, when I think about that kind of stuff, like, I just know that my goals, are to create, um, progress, more prosperity, and time. Like the two most important things in my life to me are people and time, because I feel like those are the two things that you could never get back, you know. And so like those are the two most important things. And so like I want to be completely free with my time and the people who I spend my time with. Uh and so that's my goal, is to always be in that. And then so everything else, I feel like as long as I continue to do the work, it will take care of itself. So like financially, obviously I have different goals of where I would like to be, as far as like living and homes and things like that. And so and to be able to set my family up for success going forward and leave a legacy. So like those things are always a part of what I do, and reason, and the why, for what I do in my life. And so yeah, that's kind of like the whole vision. So and I don't really put a timetable on that kind of thing, like, because yeah, I can say, oh, in 5 years I want to have this, and that, and then what happens if I don't have that? By then, am I disappointed, or am I, you know what I mean, or am I going to stop, or am I going to quit? or what happens if I get that, next year or whatever, it's like now I've got it, like where am I going to go from there? Like, so like I just want to continue to live life in gratitude and abundance and peace. And so like that's where my mindset is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You guys, we're going to talk more to our guest, CJ Soul. Let's get back in this countdown. The number 9 song is another Taylor Swift song. This song is called Bejeweled. Let's get into it. Bejeweled by Taylor Swift on Big O's Top 20 Countdown. You guys, we did a 3 in a row for you. We did Taylor Swift with Bejeweled. Number 8 was another Taylor Swift song, Marooned. Another number 7 was Taylor Swift featuring Lana Del Rey. This song is called Snow on the Beach. And that also pays tribute to one of my favorite artists. You like Michael, I like Janet. Janet is so pays tribute to a little bit. So now it's time to get into the Indian song, which comes from another CJ Soul song. The song is called Lucid. Kind of made me think of Lucid Dreams. I don't know who's the artist that sang it, but
Shout out to Juice WRLD, rest in peace.
yeah. Tell me about this song.
So yeah, this song came about a few months ago. I was scrolling on Instagram, and a targeted ad came up, and it was a beat. It was this beat, and shout out to Lebanon Don, who produced this beat. He's got some great stuff, and I just remember hearing this beat, and I was just like hooked. It was crazy. It was like I was like, oh my God, this beat is crazy. And so I had to find it, and I found it, and I had to write to it, and he called the beat Hybrid. And so I was like, okay, that's what's up. So it just kind of reminded me of like a car, like, or like electric cars or hybrid cars or whatever, so like it reminded me of that. And my favorite electric car is Lucid.
Okay.
Yeah, they're beautiful cars. And yeah, they're just super luxurious. They're, roomy, all the bells and whistles you can think of and more. Like it's just such a beautiful car, and they're very powerful, very fast. And so like the lyrics and everything like that was all like, tied in with like car references, but then like I'm talking about meeting a woman and things like that. So there's all these different like innuendos and references to cars, and like the same idea with lucid, like lucid visions, like lucid dreams and stuff like that. Like, so it all ties in together with that. And yeah, it created this song, and it's one of my favorite songs I've written for sure. And like I love performing this song too. So yeah, it's Lucid.
So let's get into the song of the week by CJ Soul. This song was posted on the yeah, y'all. So is Lucid gonna be on the album, or is it gonna be on the first time? What's the deal with that?
So we have a project in line for Lucid with my production team, in which we will be using a Lucid car. And yeah, so we're really excited about that. And how that's going to turn out. We're actually going to be telling a story, and it's going to be a saga. So it'll be connected to a lot of other videos that we'll be doing, whether it be my own videos or some of the other artists in our team. So we're creating this whole like universe, of our own or whatever, I mean, tell the story. So like I'm really excited to see how this is going to go. But Lucid was kind of like the catalyst of this whole idea.
Okay. I gotta ask a question. What advice would you give someone who would like to do what you're doing as far as music producing, engineering, and all that stuff?
Just keep going. Like there was I always, over the years, like I've had vision, thoughts of, quitting, or, then there was one moment in time where I really did stop doing music for about a year. And I stopped performing and all of that. And, that was a rough year for me. And, so shout out to my boy Ian Mixed It. He's a producer. He's part of our production team. And he was the one that got me back into the studio. And kind of just, I like to say, like, awoke the sleeping beast or whatever, you know what I mean? And just kind of rekindled the fire, because it was like from that moment on, like it was just going hard on what I'm doing, performing a lot more, and releasing music, and more active on social media, and just enjoying the craft. So like I would just say, enjoy the process, enjoy the craft, and always seek knowledge. Like I talk to people, and they're like, oh, the people all tell me about TV shows and stuff like that. I was like, I don't really watch that much TV, but like what I do watch though is YouTube, and I'm watching, whether it be tutorials or interviews or just anything where I can pick up more knowledge about, it's relevant to what I do, and or what I would like to do, or any goals or anything like that. So always seek knowledge, and try to make progress, but just enjoy the ride, and remember why you're doing this. Like why you got started with music is because it's fun and you enjoy it and you love it, and never lose sight of that.
That's awesome advice. Let's get back into this countdown. The number 6 song comes from another. Oh God, Taylor Swift countdown for real. Taylor Swift, this song is called Midnight Pain. Let's get Midnight Pain with on Big Old Stuff Countdown. Great. He would have been 97 today, and he was a member of the Rat Pack. He was also a member. He also was very, very, very talented. He was a big influencer. Michael Jackson was influenced by this young man, and his name is it's none other than Sammy Davis Jr. And then we're going to play his number 1 song. Today he would have been 97, and we're going to play his number 1 song called "The Candyman." Let's get into it. "The Candyman" by Sammy Davis Jr. on Big Old Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, y'all, that was "Who Can Make the Sunrise, Sprinkle It with Dew, something, 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 dew. The Candyman," I said the Candyman, yeah. The Candyman can. See, that's my audition to be on your next record. You know what I'm saying? That was my audition to be on the next record. The Candyman. Don't make me do it.
Hey.
I
like it.
Now it's time to get into your business. I was setting you up with the professional questions. Now it's time to get into your business. All right, what's your love life look like, man?
Oh man, that's kind of complicated. But
You got moves all over the world, pimping all over the world. Hey,
I'm dead. I just put it this way. I definitely have a persona about myself that I'm very, very aware of, so I have to be very careful with that. But people who know me, and who actually, take the time to get to know me will realize that I'm very much a one woman type of person. I write love songs, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, like right now it's just I'm just kind of doing me, and
wait to like not get me in your business. Okay. I'll be.
It's just these are kind of.
Want to tell nobody.
Nah,
I got you, man.
I'm in a place right now where like, like I don't know, like I have a lot going on in my mind and in my heart, and And so like, like that's just what it is right now. And so I'm just kind of,
I
bringing
definitely,
myself to, to be at peace with that. So,
I understand, bro. I understand. I
yeah,
understand.
yeah.
I can read between those lines, brother. I can read. I can read. I know this book. I know the book. I've read it 5 times. But,
I feel it.
um, but say one more thing. Say something inspirational. You got a minute before we go back in this count. Before we go back in this countdown.
Okay.
Inspirational.
I would just say, this life is a blessing. It's like with Blessed Life and a lot of other songs that I talk about. Gratitude and living the life that you choose, that you want to live. Like there's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that we can't do. Other, like as people, we are very powerful. Our words are very powerful. So just make sure that you stay aware of your words and your thoughts, because they definitely will carry you on whatever path that
Why did,
that you need. So
why did your voice change into like Michael? Oh, anyway, I used to be.
I mean, like I don't know, like when I
You
guess
all, you were going hard before. Now when I asked you, you're like, well, I'm. You just be aware of what you're going through. Okay, I got you, brother. I got you, brother. That's shout out to Michael right there.
Michael,
Yeah.
man, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, brother. He's not gone. He's not gone because he's still living in our hearts.
That's right. That's right.
So, the number 4 song and BB Rexa. This song is called I'm Good Blue. Look into it. I'm Good Blue on Big Old South 20 Countdown. Yeah, you guys, we did a 3 in a row for you. David Guetta and BB Rexa with I'm Good Blue. Number 3 was Sam Smith and Patrice with Ugly. And number 2 was another Taylor Swift song, the former one. This was called Anti-Hero. What's happening to the number 1 song? This song, I'm gonna tell you, I went to go see this movie a couple of days ago. What's it called? The Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. And
Yes.
oh my God, that movie blew me the hell away. I went to go see it twice since I saw it the first time. And shout out to The Color for Change for sponsoring the event. The number 1 song comes from the wonderful, the awesome Rihanna. We haven't had a song from her in like 6 years. And you know what? She debuted at number where? Number 1. Let's get into it. This is her latest single from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. This song is called Lift Me Up. I love the song. Let's get into it. Lift Me Up by Rihanna on Big Old Stop 20 Countdown, baby. All right, y'all. Lift me up, hold me down. I know all the words, but I'm gonna make them my own sound.
Yes.
Awesome. I love that song. Oh, that movie. Have you seen that movie yet?
Yes. I just saw it, and oh my God, it's that was heavy, man. It was a lot of really great things, a lot of truths in that movie. I loved it. Can't wait to go see it again.
Yeah, me too, man. Tell everybody how they can reach you, brother.
Yeah, you could find me on all social media at I am CJ Soul. I'm most active on Instagram, but I'm also active on TikTok and Snapchat and Facebook. So yeah, come holler at me and enjoy the journey with me. Yeah.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to our guest this week, CJ Soul. You guys, we made it to 243. You guys, we got something special coming up for you next month for a 250 episode. I'm gonna keep that a surprise. You guys, I want to say thank you to everybody who's listened to me for the past 7 seasons, to every artist that come on here, to the Block Radio, to Small Motion Radio, to our recently reunited Kill Radio, to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everybody who's carrying this, I want to say thank you. And the thought for the week is keep going higher and you will always make your destination. So you guys, listen to the gospel song of the week. This song came out last week last Thursday. I didn't get a chance to play because I was so busy. This is my song. This is from my live album. My live album is coming out in a couple of days. I think we know we might do a special episode for that. My live album is the album is called Live Through the Years. Matter of fact, you know what? Remember on that were you there when I performed? When I performed that night at DJ Blue?
That was powerful. You had crazy energy, man.
Those two songs will be on the album.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is one of the songs this is the first single from the album. This song is called Pray For Me Live. Let's get into it. Pray For Me Live by me on Big Old Top 20 Countdown. May God bless you. May God keep you until we meet again. And that's the end of the episode.